This program is brought to you by Donku Communication Company Limited. Fixing South Sudan, ideas for the new nation. With award-winning journalist, Wanding Moore.
Absolutely.
Honorable Ashwin, as you can see, the ideas of the initiatives are varied.
On July 8th, the clashes in J1 took place. We were very unfortunate.
Including country-specific ones, which the rebellion continue to be
Fixing South Sudan, ideas for the new nation.
Welcome to Dolco Media Day with me, Akenya Chang. Today at Nyakurul Cultural Center, met in South Sudan exhibition funded by UNDP. Today is the second day, the 7th of June, 2017. Here we have a variety of products being presented by South Sudanese who make them in South Sudan here. Here, let me introduce you to one of the people here in this cube. Please tell me your name and the products you are showing today.
I'm called William Modi Angelo. I'm the farm manager of Yapa Farm Enterprise and Construction Limited here. The place based in Dubai State, in Nobano County, Yapa Payam, Yapa Boma. That farm we produce maize.
Made from South Sudan here by all the women you train to make all these products in South Sudan?
Yes, they are all for women made. These are all products for made in South Sudan from different women, from our members, the one who are with us in the association. And in our association, we train women different type of skills, but not one thing. Especially for this one now, she can make shoes, she can make this bag, she can make beads. So we have different types of. One person can do different things.
نعمة سامسون شغالة في شركة بتاعت جرين هورايزون جلوبال جروب. عندنا أسود، عندنا بطيخ، عندنا سمسم لسه باقي له كم أسبوع كده يكون جاهز. برضو عندنا ذرة ده برضو من بور. بعد ذاك عندنا عجور وعندنا طماطم وعندنا ده اللي هو سويت كورن اللي بيستخدموه للسلطات في الهوتيلات وكده بنزرعه في مزارع حقنا بتاع بور. ده برودكت حقنا من توريد. عندنا أسود، عندنا سكومة، عندنا عجور، بعد ذاك عندنا شريف.
name is Barnaba Marial Benjamin. I'm a member of parliament. Because I want to see in terms of reality what South Sudan can produce and what are they producing now. Because many people have a feeling that as if nothing is being done in South Sudan.
And what is your impression so far?
My impression is I'm highly impressed. Like, look at this furniture, actual wood, very high quality. And I think this is a very good start. So,
is this a good idea for South Sudan?
yes, because the problem with our people in South Sudan is that they don't have information of what they have.
Hello, welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Mading Or. This week, we are live at an exhibition of its kind, known as Made in South Sudan. Is South Sudan open for business? What challenges do traders encounter and what opportunities are available to them? We discuss this and much more with our dynamic panel. Joining us, Mrs. Christine Egino Oyanek, Director for Trade Fairs and Exhibitions, Ministry of Trade and Industry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Mr. Daniel Makiriakir, Team Leader, Human Development and Inclusive Growth, UNDP. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you? Good. And finally is Ms. Sarah Foni, agronomist, AIM Global, a medium-sized South Sudanese company. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome to all of you. So let me start with you, Christine. You are the ministry that organized this trade fair. It is the first time it is happening in the history of South Sudan. So tell us a bit about the exhibition, how it came about, how long it took to organize. Welcome.
Thank you. The exhibition started in June last year. The idea was brought from some of neighboring countries. They held the same event, and we were invited for that event, and we were impressed so much about the event. Even we found that some of the materials that exhibited the similar products we have in South Sudan, but we don't appreciate such products. They normally called in our local languages like Lalob, Ardeb, and then Nabak. All the things there, they have made use out of them, and it was really impressing that but we are having all these things, but we don't appreciate what we have.
So you got inspired.
We got inspired of that exhibition,
and then you came up
so
with
we
the
decided
idea
immediately.
And you took it where?
Immediately, the team decided that we are going to organize the same event, and immediately we came back after the event. We started. We proceed with our work, even though there was some challenges from financial part, but we said, okay, we have some partners also, development partners we have, like UNDP. We start calling UNDP, and when we found that their response was positive, we got excited and we proceed. Also, we called some of business community to be part of us. So we discussed with them all the issue, and then the ministry really got excited, especially our minister also, who was very impressed with the idea made in South Sudan. Because people say, made in South Sudan. Do you have something made in South Sudan, really? That was the question. And people were asking. I said, yes, we have. We have, but we don't appreciate it. So we have to showcase all what we have, so that to tell the world that we have made many things in South Sudan. So we started to advertise. When we started to advertise, I think it was in this year, and then it was helped by UNDP. They took all the responsibility for advertising the event. That is why the event just ran quickly, and people started calling us. Do you have things in South Sudan? We said, yes, we have. But some of them come for registration, and some reluctant, they did not come because they did not believe that such things are here. But during the event itself, people really were impressed and shocked to see that we have many manufacturers in South Sudan, and our ladies, our young people, even boys, they can develop things.
Let me start with you. So you saw the potential in the neighboring country, and you said that this can be done in South Sudan. Why did you feel that it could be done in South Sudan?
Because the resources we have in South Sudan even is more than other neighboring countries have. And we saw that even our potential, we have human resources.
Right.
That is why we just
so
have
the
to go.
potential is there in South Sudan. This idea was brought to you by the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And what was your first reaction?
Yes, thank you very much, Mading. I need to start by thanking you for hosting us today at Fixing South Sudan, Ideas for the New Nation. Yes, we received the idea of Made in South Sudan from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And from UNDP, we thought this was a great idea. Since we think the private sector is the engine of every growth in every country, UNDP has been a keen supporter of this private sector. And we saw this is an idea which will actually pay down support and bring forward South Sudan's private sector, because we believe that it's not only the government which is supposed to provide employment for every nation, like the situation in South Sudan, where you have mostly the labor, people are within the labor markets are employed by the government. But this situation we need to change, where we have a private sector which can engage more youth from South Sudan, more women engage in employment, and that's why UNDP was so keen to support this idea made in South Sudan.
So the idea was raw, and did you think it was doable? The idea was great, but did you think that you would actually get any manufacturing made in South Sudan?
We believe in South Sudan. We believe in the business of South Sudan. UNDP has been supporting the government of South Sudan for a long time. We have seen a lot of potential. We have seen a lot of good ideas. We have seen business South Sudanese doing business. So we didn't have any doubt that the things produced in South Sudan, we knew that they are produced, but they didn't get the platform for this thing to be shown. We didn't have any doubt that South Sudanese are producing a lot of things. And actually, this doubt will prove when this many South Sudan was made. Almost above 60 manufacturers were able to show what are they producing. But this was not the end of the list. There were a lot of people who were turned away because the space was not enough. South Sudanese were producing outside there than more than what you saw in the exhibitions. That some of them, these people are only around Juba. If you look at the whole country and this information go outside there, you see a lot of people who are producing things in South Sudan. This shows how Sudanese are resilient despite the context the country is in.
So is your role financial or was it more than that?
We provided both financially and technically, working together with the organizing committee, with the Madam Elizabeth Major, in terms of even technical, but mainly we supported the event financially.
Okay, and let me bring you here, Foni. You are an agronomist for a local company. And so how did you hear about the trade fair and what did you make of it?
Okay, thank you. The first time I heard about the trade fair was on radio. I was in a car, then I heard them talk about it. Then the next time I was moving, I saw them posted on, should I call them banners, by the roadside. I saw one around the 7 days runabout. So I'm like, okay, this, I think it's something interesting. Then when I saw it's the Ministry of Trade and then UNDP coming in, I'm like, I think it's going to be an exciting one. So I went to tell my boss, I think we should give it a try. And
so
then,
what were you thinking? Why did you instantly connect with the idea?
No, because I've seen other exhibitions out of South Sudan, and then it's really interesting to venture into such, because for us, the business people, we look at opportunities, how you're going to expand, is there potential for donors to come in, and are we going to exhibit something that people will appreciate? So I talked to my boss. Initially, he was reluctant, but then I kept pushing until the last moment. It's like, okay, I think we should give it a try. So when I went to register, I looked through the list, and I saw like, okay, there are so many companies, private firms, individuals. I picked the forms and registered, and before I noticed it, when I came on Tuesday, I was excited because I saw there are things I saw that I had never seen in my life that existed in South Sudan. I appreciated the fact that there are lots of things, the resources, there's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of business that's running within the country.
So you participate in the trade fair, and what is the setup like for your company? What are you exhibiting?
Okay, we're exhibiting honey. We are an agribusiness company. So we looked at honey as one of the products that we make in South Sudan, and it's our biggest project. We have the biggest in the oil field in Bentu. Being a hot area, they usually disturb the companies that are drilling the oil. So they came and contracted us, such that we set up apiaries where the bees will instead channel, and then being a social insect that produces for us honey, we looked at it as an opportunity. Instead of spraying them and killing them, why not have them produce for us bees as we train the farmers there, and at the end of the day, everyone is happy. The bees are not thinking the people working, and everyone is getting honey, and at the end of the day, they get only. So we did that, and we have some farmers in Bentu that we have trained. Usually, we train them at a cost. So when we train them, we give them, depending on the size of your hive, we give them 10 hives. Then the 6 they give back to us, and the 4 remains theirs. So that is the cost they have. So it's usually a 60-40 share. We get the 60, and then they remain with the 40. So depending, if they want to sell it to us, that's the one we buy.
Right. Tell us about your company, AIM Global. It's a South Sudanese-owned company,
Yes.
and it's based where?
Okay, it's a South Sudanese-owned company with our head offices at Rock City Hotel. We have a honey factory in Gumbo. We have other branches out of South Sudan. We have one in Uganda, another in Kenya. We have in Liberia. But basically, we deal in agribusiness.
Liberia?
Yeah, we have in Liberia. So it's basically agribusiness. As I said before, our biggest project is beekeeping. But we also do seed We deliver seeds. We train farmers on the best practices they can take on in agriculture. We have proposal writing. We also do extension service. So basically, that's what we do.
So you have seen the fruit of your labor. It started as a small idea, but it is making a significant difference. So take me to that first day when this whole thing was launched. What was your reaction after planning for so long? Now this thing was coming to fruition.
Yeah, it was really very, very interesting. And I think our minister, our undersecretary, even us all, we are very happy and pleased that we can see not only the fruits of our work, but we can see the future of South Sudan. We see the economy of South Sudan is just growing. We are going to change even the economy of the world, not only South Sudan. Because just a few years, we managed to have such manufacturers. And even our ladies, they're handmade, the crafts they have done, it is really amazing. I haven't seen them in our neighboring countries, even though I used to go to other countries to see their markets, but the local products our people produce, it was amazing.
Tell us about your directorate, trade and exhibitions. Why did it take so long for South Sudan to have its first exhibition?
Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, we had many exhibitions, several exhibitions was done in South Sudan, but we did not focus on Made in South Sudan exhibition. As I said to you, we just grabbed the idea from our neighboring countries. When we went there, we said, oh, so we have also to make our Made in South Sudan. So it was very important to showcase the products we have and also to connect the exhibitors with other business partners. Like, we have foreign investors. They are also looking for business opportunity. Through exhibition, we can tell people what type of business we have. Yeah.
So if I ask you what is made in South Sudan, what is your answer?
What is made in South Sudan? Several things are made in South Sudan.
Namely?
We have honey. I can say, as she explained, how they work to produce the honey. And then we have handcrafts. And then we have even water. We have oil. 3 types of oil. Same oil. And then we have peanut oil, which is all without cholesterol. That is, and then we have sunflower oil. We did not expect that we have oil. And then oil is very, very expensive now in South Sudan. But we have here in South Sudan, it was very interesting to have such things. And we are very happy. We are proud that we're really moving so fast. And then we have all different type of detergents. So cosmetic, all those things are there. Not even me, myself, I did not even know that such things are here, made here.
But you feel that the future is more than that. So
yes.
What are some of the limitations? Because as a Ministry of Trade, you would like to do more for the traders and the business people. What is limiting you?
Yes, some more like financial problems we still have with the current situation, and then some areas are not accessible because our aim is to go all over. We have to develop our people from rural areas also to be part of the industry development. Because if we start it, the foreigners will follow us. We have to start the development in our country. We don't rely on foreigners because our local production, that the one can boost us ahead, our economy. Because without local production, we cannot move ahead. We can continue for importation, and that we discourage importation. We need to export. We need to export to other countries. Our aim is a diversified economy, which is a private-led economy, not only government, but by the private sector. They have to lead the economy.
It's interesting you talk about exports. So are any of the things made in South Sudan being exported?
Yes, like honey has been exported. And then we have also gum arabic also. has been exported. And interestingly, yesterday one of
Is it gum Arabic or gum South Sudan?
it's gum Arabic. It's gum Arabic. That is the initial name of gum Arabic. Yeah. And then we have one exhibitor yesterday. He was really, I can say, almost crying for not having a booth. So he said, I just need a small space. And it was not possible to get that space. I connect him with other exhibitor who has a booth, if they can share. But this is their internal dialogue. So if they can give him opportunity. They gave him opportunity. He was trying to call local people to bring, he got, I think, they have a tree, I don't know the name of that tree. It is eatable, and then the seeds are, they use as medicines. So he said he needs these seeds, need to export to China. And he's ready to collect from all farmers. Yeah. So, and then he said he need gum Arabic, and immediately they connect with one of our exhibitors, which is Ramshel. So they connect with them. So you can see the exhibition, in fact, it is to help to connect, yes, networking opportunity between producers and then the traders or buyers. So that was very good. And then now you can get also know-how from others. I think we can see now the future of business in South Sudan. We can see the future of industrial development in South Sudan. It is visible. We can take even short time, really, to boost our economy.
Right. This trade fair is happening at a critical time in South Sudan. The economy is in a lot of challenge, and the potential is there. And what do you think about the impact of this?
Thank you for the question. I think, as you said correctly, South Sudan is being faced by difficult challenges. Actually, South Sudan is among the maybe 3 or 4 countries which is being faced by a high humanitarian crisis. Humanitarian is not only as by the conflict. We have had recently of the famine being declared in South Sudan. Almost around 7 million South Sudanese depend on the humanitarian system. It's a big challenge. Our only source of income, the oil, is also being faced with challenges globally. The oil prices are going down, and we are not able to produce our maximum production because of the conflict. So that has put a lot of pressure on the government in terms of the resources they're getting for them to put forward the development agenda in the country. So this made in South Sudan is an opportunity, big opportunity for South Sudanese to see, when you go and you have manufacturers, like for the companies, they are running. But the companies are not isolated, entities. You can create a lot of business around these companies. Say if she's producing honey, then you can produce. You can think of making a company which produces maybe bottles for you to package this honey. So it creates a lot of business around them. And South Sudan, we see these opportunities, and that's what we're saying as UNDP for youth and women to grab those opportunities and turn them into good ideas, turn them to good businesses. And instead of only 60, 100, in 3 years from now, 5 years from now, you want to see South Sudan having more than 2,000 companies. And if South Sudan has more than 2,000 companies, the tax base for the country itself, the government will be able to generate more money from these taxes. Apart from oil, by the way, oil makes this country so vulnerable for any shock which happens to that income. It affects us. So it's very important, as you said, that the country quickly diversify from oil to other sources of income. For example, the gum Arabic itself, it can give the country an exchange of hard currency and give you more stream of income. If you produce maize and maize flour and all this thing, it also substitutes some of the imports, which are taking a lot of hard currency from the country. So this exhibition itself, it is very big opportunity for a land which has a lot of potentials. We have land, we have water, we have forest, we have wildlife. These are all which South Sudanese could tap into. And if we provide more development, I'm telling you, even the conflict we have, we see it going down. Because I think the conflict itself is related to development. It's lack of development which is bringing all these things. Youth are not engaged, women are not engaged. And if you're not engaged, you don't have income, you don't have anything to protect. If you're given an AK-47, it's easy for you to pick it, and you think that's become a way of income for you. But if you give him an alternative that he can earn a living out of it, he will not think of going to the bush. Why should you go to the bush?
And let me ask about the alternatives. What alternatives are you providing to the private sector? The ideas are great,
yes,
but the needs are even greater.
Yes. As UNDP, we are now engaged in trying to help, and again with the Ministry of Trade, to help youth enter into business by giving them training and entrepreneurship, providing them with advisory services for those who are already in business, so they could run better and have more income in terms of doing business. That's one thing we're doing. Last year we trained around 110 South Sudanese youth in entrepreneurship, and it's well-tried model of entrepreneurship which we brought into South Sudan. We're also working with the ministry to help them put together a coherent trade policy for the country, which will look at addressing the bottlenecks facing the trade in the country. We want South Sudan to be a competitive country around in the region, in East Africa, but also in Africa. Finally, in the world, we have the potential for us also to compete globally. So we're working with the ministry to come up with a good trade policy, and now we're supporting the private sector. Those work we are doing definitely will have a positive impact on how the government could now facilitate the trade within the country, and many South Sudanese can compete now with Uganda. We see a reduction in terms of imports. Even if we're not exporting, we reduce import into the country, but definitely we'll be also exporting in those countries.
So you're putting the policy framework in place. The challenges of finance are there. So how much lending are you giving, or how much support are you giving in terms of microfinance?
Mainly, what we are doing, we have been working with South Sudan Microfinance Development Facility. This is an AFEX organization within the private sector department of the Ministry of Trade. And we always bring to them ideas and link them to the banking system within the country, so they can come out with tool and instrument which youth and business people who are starting their businesses, they could use. I acknowledge that accessing finances is one of the challenges. South Sudan lack a lot of regulations. People don't have title for land. They cannot give anything as a security for them to access loan. And this is where we come in as UNDP to see, together with South Sudanese, whether we can come with an idea which we can overcome the challenges of accessing finances in the country. Banks, the feedback we get from the bank always is that they have the money. People are not coming to ask for finances. And I know sometimes it's maybe a perception. I'll be sitting there and say, the bank wouldn't give you money. Perception is one key issue. When you go there also, there might be some small question. Do you have this paper? Are you registered? All these things become also an issue. So we help the business people be formal, have all the papers, and then we help also the bank put some guarantees around this, and then they can be accessing finances to go on with their businesses. But for those we train, we also provide them with startup kit. We see what challenges they have, and then we give them something for them to start their business. Like the 110 we train, we give them some support directly for those we train.
Coming back to the exhibition, what surprised you about it? What amazed you about it?
Like Christian said, I was even surprised when during the preparation to see some of the products, which I was thinking that it being imported. I was surprised that they're produced from South Sudan. Water tanks, for example. I was thinking water tanks are imported from Uganda or Kenya. I was surprised these are produced from here. Iron sheet for roofing. I was surprised that they're produced from here. Even this water pipe, they're produced from here. And the number of people who were coming, we are not now going around looking for people to come. Actually, people were coming and the ministry was sending some of them away because the number which was planned is already there. But more people are coming. And even from the States, it was surprising to me that to see this many people who are producing things in South Sudan, it was so surprising. The way the government is supporting this, it was also, I see the government commitment towards supporting the private sector. The participation from the government, the president was represented by the advisor on food security. It shows a high level of commitment from the government towards supporting the private sector.
Made in South Sudan is happening for the first time. Yes. Is it an idea that is here to stay, or is this a one-time thing?
I will leave that to the ministry.
As far as funding is
concerned.
Yes,
I know. I will leave that to the ministry, but I think UNDP is here in South Sudan to stay. We are here to support every national agenda which is helping the people empower themselves, become resilient. UNDP is a trusted partner for the government, and we support every initiative which we think that will end up by giving more income to the people. So the more the government comes with national agenda, UNDP is there to support this national agenda.
And let me put it to you, is this an idea that will be carried out every year?
Yes. It will be every year.
And what will you do to make sure it is even better every year?
Of course, now not us alone. The exhibition have already said a lot to people. Many people have even registered for the next exhibition, not for next year. This is now vision. They don't say that we are coming. They say, please put our names for the next exhibition. I said, let the time come. They said, no, just register them. Some even told me that if you want us to pay from now for next year, we can pay. I said, no, not like that. But we're going to have every year because it's the beginning, and we know that with this beginning, our people are already now encouraged that, oh, people are appreciating their work. And a lot of sales have gone yesterday. Many people sell out their products. Usually they have the goods at homes, but no market. So here, even it is open our mind, even though before we have already requested a land for exhibition. We need a fixed ground for exhibition. That can be good, that even they have section, they will operate there even throughout the year without exhibition. They can have their own exhibition there. That can help them. Now it will even promote them to develop more and more products. This is our focus now. And then also, we see that with this exhibition, those who have no idea for business, it is already developed, the idea. Because they are asking others, they are coming there curiously to see young boys. They are working, doing handcrafts, like shoes and all those things they are doing. Even women, girls. And I'm impressed that many of our exhibitors are young people. And that means that our economy is going to grow. With people have the technical know-how that they are growing with it, and the business will grow with them. It means this is really a long-term investment.
One of those young people is Sarah. Sarah, has the exhibition met your expectations? Are you satisfied with it? Are you inspired? What can you say about it?
It has actually gone beyond my expectations. Since it's one of a kind, it's the first of its kind, I had a smaller vision of it and some doubts. But when I arrived on the first day, and then I saw what was happening, I was actually, I think, some minutes late, because it starts at 9, I saw when people had already set their stalls, they are ready to kick off. I first started by moving around to see what are people exhibiting, because I thought to myself, okay, I could be exhibiting honey, maybe I'm the only person, but then when I saw it, okay, there are other people, and then I saw some products. All I can say is it was beyond my expectation. I really didn't expect it to be that big, and I'm sure it's going to be bigger the next time.
But how has your company benefited from it?
Okay, it has really benefited in a positive manner. We've made connections, we've made networks, we've met some investors who are interested in getting the wax as a byproduct. And I met one yesterday, and he was like, I'm coming to your factory. I need the wax because I need to import it, to export it to China. So I'm like, okay, this is a good step. But all in all, we've been able to network with other people. We've been able to see our small errors that we've been doing while processing our honey. We've been able to say, okay, if we can change this, I think it will make more sales, it will look better. And everyone is advocating, why don't you people start exporting this honey? And then in the world records, it's South Sudan has one of the best honeys in the world. So everyone is like, I think if this can go out of South Sudan, it would be very good honey. If you look at our honey brand, it's that has mixed forage, so it becomes more nutritious than most of the honeys in the world. So we've really benefited a lot in terms of sales, in terms of networking, in terms of getting people who are interested in funding us.
Are you a supporter of the exhibition?
I'm a big fan, actually. If it could happen more often, other than once a year, I'd be so grateful.
Let me ask you this question. Why is it an idea for fixing South Sudan?
Pardon?
Is it a good idea for fixing South Sudan?
Yes, it's a very good idea. Personally, I'm an agriculturalist by profession. And at the end of the day, everyone is looking for food. Whether we go to work or we do agriculture or we do whatsoever, we are looking for food, and that's how the monies we collect all over the world is all about making sure that we have food in our stomach, on the table, and at home. So when we exhibit such items, we get to realize, okay, if we go to the market and we are buying honey, let me say 2,000 a bottle that has been imported into the country, and then when we have our local honey here, there is a way it's cheaper because it's within, and as I said before, it's one of the best honeys in the world. So you look at the nutritional value of it, and then other than honey, the other products that were exhibited. So we are just building up the economy so that we have the money to go for food. So at the end of the day, I also encourage people to always, if you can have a kitchen garden just nearby your house, you can put something there. You can put your kudra, your ngete, your what. So we are advocating and encouraging that we take up agriculture we look at it in a better version. We don't have to always go to the market to buy the food. We can do it at home. We have everything we need within the country. We don't have to wait for tomatoes to come from Uganda. We don't have to wait for cabbage to come from Uganda. We can do it just near our household. Yes.
Thank you. And is made in South Sudan a good idea for fixing South Sudan?
Definitely. Made in South Sudan is a good idea for fixing South Sudan. Number one, I think it put outside there a narrative about South Sudan which nobody even believed it happening. South Sudan outside, when you hear South Sudan, what comes to your mind is shooting, bullet, people killing themselves, conflict, violent. But this one, it tells people that there's also potential in South Sudan. People are producing. And for South Sudanese also themselves, it gives them another opportunity, an alternative for them to live their life. Our life is not only for us to be in violence. We can still earn our living if we start working for ourselves and producing. It fixed the country through that way. It's also fixed the country that the country start relying on itself. People start relying on themselves, employ themselves, start business for themselves. They don't rely on other people. It's going to fix this country if you're producing. The humanitarian assistance I talked about will go down significantly. It might even go to zero. I don't have any doubt South Sudan, if peace come back 10 years from now, maybe 15 years, South Sudan will move into a middle income country and will become one of the donors who support other countries when intelligence. So it fixed South Sudan in many ways. But economically, that's how South Sudan, I think, South Sudan, if we diversify and we enter into agricultural sector, there's a big potential for this country to feed itself and feed the neighboring country. We can become a basket for East Africa.
Let's end with the same question because this is Fixing South Sudan show. So made in South Sudan as an idea for fixing South Sudan. Yes or no?
Yes.
How?
Must have been said, but in various ways it's going to fix South Sudan, really, because the economy is going to grow. We have encouraged already our people now. We have this like an eye-opener to our local producers. Even they can produce more because they know there is a market. Because as she put it, the connection has already started through the exhibition, and this is the aim of exhibition, to showcase and then also to let people to interact with each other, and then also to exchange ideas for the development of their manufacturers. So we can see that this is just the beginning. As he said, it is going to be the breadbasket, not only for Africa, I see, can be even for the world. As we have started now to export things in other parts of the world, not only Africa. Japan is getting our honey, and now during the exhibition connections with many Chinese investors, they want to export our products, which is encouraging. I can say also, we really need to work hard for fixing our economy through exhibitions, through entrepreneurship. All the things will work.
Daniel mentioned a very important point. So South Sudan is not Juba.
Yes.
It has started now, but it has a potential to expand.
Yes.
So what do you need in order to get out?
In fact, I mentioned at the beginning even that we have to go to our rural areas, not only rural areas of Juba, the whole areas of South Sudan. We have to go there. You know, we have to now develop in the mind of our people the spirit of business. Regardless of, yes, there's some roads are blocked or closed because of current situation, but internally there, our government should also advocate for such events in each state. We have to encourage them to come out with what they have. In fact, we will discover that there are many, many products in other states than we saw here in Juba. We just need to give them a chance. And this one is an eye-opener, not only for our local producers, but also for the government now to extend it to other areas. As also Daniel mentioned, through development, we can even contribute in peace.
Give me one word that describes the exhibition.
One word.
One word. Already you have your one word.
It's prosperity.
Thank you. Don't add more.
Yeah.